Okay, enough of the preliminaries. Let's walk through the lab 2. And the first thing I want to impress on you is the importance of this particular thing right here. This is something you'll have to take care of. And I've laid out 3 steps up here that you have to go through. First of all, let me show you why. You'll notice that, yeah, I've got CDC in my global environment. And let me just come down here to the R console and run the command str left paren cdc, and it ran just fine. Okay, now let's come up here and see what happens in the markdown file. First here, I'll just clean up this. Control L to clean my console, and let's comment this command out so that it doesn't run. Okay, now it's a commented command and it will be ignored. And let's come down here, and in my first chunk I've got a comment, and I'll just put the command str cdc, and now I will knit word. Oh, line 33, error, object CDC not found. What do you mean not found? It's sitting right here in my global environment. Well, okay, here's an important point about markdown and knitting. When the knitter runs, it sets up a completely clean workspace which has access to nothing but the things that are automatically part of base R. It does not get access to the things that are in your global environment. So in order to get access to something in the global that is in your global environment, you need to separately load it into this workspace. Okay, and it's going to have to be something that is actually can run every time on your computer. This command here would not run on your computer unless you're using a Mac and you happen to have the cdc.r data file in your downloads folder. This worked on my computer, it won't work on yours. Okay, so let's see how you actually get a command which will work on your computer. Okay, the way you do that, you have to know where the file cdc.rdata is on your computer. Now, I put a copy on my desktop. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to, in RStudio now, File, Open File, go to my desktop, there's cdc.rdata, double click on it, and confirm the load, say yes, I want to do it. Okay, what you got in that, and this is true whether you're using a Windows computer or a Mac computer, this command right here is the one that has to be in your markdown file in order for your markdown process to succeed. So you just make a copy of that, Control C or Command C, come up here, paste, okay, and now let's run it again. Remember that before this strcdc command failed, but now let's go ahead and knit word, and everything worked. The strcdc command worked. Okay. Let me point out some things about trying out things. Here in every chunk, you'll find a couple things over here to the right. Modify chunk options, run all previous chunks, and run the current code chunk. So if you want to run the current code chunk, okay, it ran, and that would not run if the CDC data file were not in your global environment. That is, when you run the chunk here, just run the chunk by itself, it works with things in the global environment, whereas when you do the markdown process, it works with things that have been loaded into Markdown's special environment. Okay, so what you do is just walk through here, through all of these problems, and inside the chunks you put the code that you need to answer the question, and then after the code has run, you come down here, delete the sentence, place your answers here. Here's problem 3, put your command that you need there. Problem 4, put your R code here, put your answers there. Okay, so I think this is a fairly simple process and it'll produce a good-looking assignment that you can hand in.